Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our today's session in which we are going to learn about data visualization and Google Chart API. This is starting of September. We are working on with data science. Welcome you all again for Bagcampus Power Content, and let's learn with today's topic in which we are going to learn about data visualization and Google Chart API. Let's go to our regular sessions in which we are going to learn about the Google Colab. So let's go to that part and let's move to learn out what is data visualization. So as per our learnings in previous session, we learned that data visualization is just the visualization of data. It is an approach of data analysis to understand what is in data and data frame in a proper visual manners in the form of graph, charts, and plots, graph chart in the hierarchical reports. We can see the data, and it is just called as a data visualization. So, welcome you all, and let's get started with today's session. It is going to be a great fun today because we are going to learn a lot of new stuff today. So, let's go to Google Colabs and learn. Hope so. The screen is visible. I have clicked up this Google Colabs, and here we start with that. So, I will just open with yesterday's session, and let's recap what we learned yesterday. So we firstly learn how we import pandas, right? So there's a simple line which import pandas as a PD, and we can use it. Then we learned about data frames. We learned that a data frames is a two-dimensional data structure, and in which data is aligned in a tabular form. We learned how we use multi-dimensional arrays to get data frames, right? So we learned about data frames yesterday. Then we learn how we import and export file system. So we learn about how to read the CSV files. So for that we have to go to this files and we have to upload in the sample data I'm uploading. So I can just go with upload. I will upload my latest COVID-19 status report, right, which I downloaded from Kaggle. I can use it. So I can just copy the path, use it here. I think so. It is the same, right? Then I will get the data using data.head. Then we can also get data.tell to get last 5 entries in the data. Then we can also go for a data describe to get all the statistical information about data, like what is a count, what is a mean, standard, what is a mean, what is a minimum value, and then what is maximum value, what is median, right? Then we can also check what is the null values are present in the data or not. Then we learn about what are the C bonds and metapolis. Then just took up a simple tour to data visualization with count plot. So we have to learn about rel plot, cat plot, count plot, box plot today. So let's explore this also, right? So go, let's check with we already learned with count plot. So I'll give a better example today. So it is a discharge ratio. What I will go with is with the X bar, I will use state and UTs. So I will just copy this in the X And what I'll do in a y, I'd like to see total deaths. Okay, so I will pass this. I have to give a comma. And okay, at the count plot, we cannot pass both x and y. So what we will do now, we will go with rel plot. So we will just go with relational plot, rel plot, to see the values we have. And here up with that, right? All it is good, but the case of Maharashtra, it is outbounded, right? So these is called as outliers. We can also use box plot to know more about what are the outliers. So we will firstly go for a box plot to check about the outliers. So we will go with box plot, and we are not able to get this properly. So what I will do is I will just remove this x and use y only. Sorry, I will remove this and I will use it as x so that I can get some outliers details. So as I can see that there are one, two, and three outliers, and these are in a very basic and average zone, but these are the outliers, right? So we can also find out the outliers with the box plot as we have just seen now. So what I'm just going to go for now is a cat plot. Let me teach you what is hue. So I will just go with again the rel plot. So what's the result of this rel plot? I'm not getting anything because I have to go with a relational. So again, I have to copy this and I will use it with the x-axis and I will make y-axis on that, right? So x. I'm just giving a comma here, so I will give a comma and I will check the result. Make sure you use a proper snippet, right? Then here it is what I get as a rel plot. So I firstly give a hue with some other detail like oh, let me add a hue ratio with a date ratio. Sorry for this. So I will add a hue of this. Let's see what result we get. Yes. I miss a comma. Syntax error will occur if you will not give proper comma. So here we can get that data ratio is 0.51, 1.5, 2.5, 2.5, and here it is some dotted lines. So we can understand this data properly with the hue also, right? I will not waste your more time to learn about cat plot. So let's go. I will remove this and I'll use a cat plot, which is a categorical plot, right? So understand, use a proper data such that we can see proper results, right? It will run soon. Okay, so I will just not type means waste our time morely. Don't worry, this is going to run properly. Soon as it will run, I will show you. Now we have to learn about histogram today. So I will fastly move with that. So also how we can import NumPy. Yes, it occurs here. So you can get into very detail with the cat plot, right? So you can check this properly here. So you understand these things. So what I will going for how we import NumPy. So I will just go with import NumPy as a NP, right? Then we already imported the matplotlib .py plot here, right? So don't need to write it again. So firstly, I will create some random data like ages. So I have to give ages. Okay, let me give the age specifically above 18 and below 40. So I will use 20, 25, 39, 30, 25. Okay, again 25 is chosen once. 22, 38. Then I would like to use 19. Also, I would like to use 22. I will also give one data again. So I have used 22 again. So 28, right? No worry in that. Age I have taken. So what range I have given? So I have range of 18. I will use range of 0 to 140. Okay, in place of that. I have x-axis. For that I'm using BINS. So I'm taking it 10 for now. Now we have to use a histogram here. So what I will do is I will use a PLT, which basically go with the matplotlib, right? We have imported as a PLT. I will give a simple dot. I will use HIST to create histogram. Then I will add x axis. I want it for age. Then y axis BINS. Then I have range. So I have already defined with the range. So I will firstly go with range range. Then you can see that what is the density, weight, community, bottom. I'll like to give it a histogram type. It is bar. I want bar only. Then I also want another thing is here alignment, orientation, R width. I want to give R width, and it should be 0.4. Sorry, 0.4. Then I want color to be blue. Okay, so I will give blue. Let's run this. Let's check what we get result. So this is a result that we get. So we received something here, then 20 to 25. Then here we should use, we have already used 25 here. Then 39. We used 38 also, right? So this is what we called as a histogram. So we can also label up the x-axis and y-axis properly. So what I will go with plt dot x label, and I will give the label as age. Then I also can go with plt dot y label, I'm simply giving a title to this whole graph as a age graph. So age graph. Okay. So this will look and let go with plt dot show. Let's run this to see some code and some graph. up here. So it's remain same, but what happened? I have given it is bins. It is age graph. Okay, that's the thing happened. So I will firstly go with plus code, and we will move to our next point to go with, and that is a scatter. Okay, so we have to learn what is scatter. So I will go with the directly move with what is scatters. So I would like to use SNS dot, just a sec. So we are moving with the scatters as I had discussed up here. Let me check whether you're able to see my screen properly or not. Yes, everything is perfect. So let's move to scatter dot plot dot scatter. I will use scatter. Then I will use the x-axis. I want the state and utilities. Okay, so I will firstly move up to know about state and utilities, and I will put in x. What with the y? So I want to use total cases in a y. Okay, let's run to see what happens. Yes, it is giving me error because I have not given comma. Syntax error. So here I receive such a graph of scattering. Okay, so I can grab the details about that. So you're understanding this, you'll understand what is various types of graph we have learned. Like we learned cat plot, rel plot, count plot, and box plot, right? And we learned about histogram, and this was a scatter. So you understand these topics, so that we can move further, right? If you understand this topic, please give me a thumb in the chat. I can understand that, right? Okay, so we have to learn now dist plot. So these are various types of visualization only. So I'll just go with SNS dot give the dist plot, and in that what you have to give is give the variable name in which data we have stored. So it is a data only. Then in that of what you have to find the dist plot. For example, I have to find dist plot of total guesses only. So I will just put it, and for only one, okay, you can give only one, not x and y. So we receive such a graph. So total case density, right? We understand these topics. Hope so you are coming to know about this properly. Hope you understand with this plot now. So we are done with various visualization techniques that we have learned today. Now what we have to go with is a Google chart APIs, right? So let's move to Google chart APIs and learn what is Google chart APIs. Then we have to learn with what is Keras, Tensorflows, and Apache Sparks. So let's go with what is Google chart API. So I just go with the website which you can see on the screen. So it is a Google Charts. So I'll try to go with this. So whenever you will go and type Google Charts, you will find this. We use Google Charts to use various types of charts on our web pages. We can directly use various types of web pages from Google Charts. So if we will go to guides, then we can go with various types of charts. So I will use calendar charts or whatever we learned today. That is a histogram, right? So I will go with histogram. Then it will show us this type of total script, and we have to use this script in our web page to add this chart. We can also make changes in this to have to be plot on our website, right? So whenever we have to use any graph, we use Google Charts. Hope so you understand with Google Charts properly. I'm not able to show you up here today because we it will be a very waste of time today, right? Hope so you understand this total topic. There's nothing in new like that. So just checked out with what is a Google Charts API, right? Now our next topic is what is Keras, TensorFlow, Apache. So I will just go with a Google search and I will type Keras. So Keras is an open chart software library that provides Python interpreters for artificial neural networks, right? So if I will go with Njubeta, you can find some Stack Overflows, and you can find it with the collab.research.google.com. But before that, let me show you about what is a TensorFlow. So TensorFlow. So TensorFlow is a free and open source software library for machine learning. It can be used across a range of tasks, but has a particular focus on training and inference of deep neural networks, right? So we can just go with the tutorials, information, introduction. So I will tap in introduction and let's show you some basic point about TensorFlow. So introduction to TensorFlow. We can use it for JavaScript, for mobile and IoT, for productions. Hope you can join our IoT sessions in the last, which are going to be taken by Shubham sir. So you can also enroll for that. So Python development, JavaScript development, iOS, and there's a lot of things. We can use the TensorFlow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to uh, use Google's collab and let use it right directly. So here we see that introduction to Keras, what is TensorFlow, what is Keras, right? So we directly go into basic of this part. There are 82 cells of member and we can run this properly. For example, let's go with this was not authored by the okay, so all ones, all zeros tensor. So I just go with import tensor as a TF, then x equal to TF dot one shape, and let's print x. So we receive this type of TensorFlow diagram, right? Can also go with running this. It took 0 seconds to get me load with this. So don't worry about that. So we can also go with the NumPy arrays. You can explore this total website and total introduction to Keras and TensorFlow on this website. Hope so you understand all the topics that are covered in today's session. So let's move to end of today's session. So what is today's assignment? You have to use a Google Chart API and you have to make all visualization properly. So I will just go with typing the assignment. So please wait. Firstly create a banner. Create all type of visualizations. Uh, Especially with you have to learn go with histogram. You have to go with the scatter plot. Then you have to go with the rel plot. You have to go with box plot. Right? We learn all these things. It's today only. Then a cat plot. And you have to submit this assignment, right? So create all type of visualization, histogram, scatter plot, replot, box plot, and cat plot. You have to submit this file on our website of data science, powercamp.bagcampus.in/data science schedules, right? So you can also go with Google search to know about where do we submit this assignment, right? Thank you for attending today's session. Hope we will be meeting tomorrow. Tomorrow you can find the machine learning's first session of introduction at 9:45 a.m. by Ritesh Kamitka, and later on at 11 a.m. you can find us at our final session of data science. Thank you everyone for attending this session. Thanks. Dear students, the assignment is create all type of visualization, histogram, scatter plot, real plot, box plot, and cat plot. Make sure you submit this assignments.